Ninja Gaiden's back, boys. Two whole new games after that hot fart that was Yaiba Z. This time as another 2D action platformer. This time by the guys behind Blasphemous, which I haven't played. But I've heard good things about it. And published by .emu. .emu? .emu? I assume .emu because emulation, but I don't know. Despite that, it says Koei Tecmo, but it's not Koei Tecmo. I assume Koei Tecmo just gave them, the blessing because it's their franchise. Whatever. The Steam page also says Joystick publishes. I don't know who that is, so I looked them up, and I found nothing. That could be Google being absolute garbage now, because search results are fucking horrible. That being said, it did send me down this kind of rabbit hole thing, and I found out it might be Chengdu Joystick, and then I just gave up because I thought I would go insane looking into it. Back on track. Ragebound stars a new character, and not Ryu Hayabusa, but some guy. Kenji, who is a hot-headed dude eager to prove himself to Ryu. This game takes place during Ninja Gaiden Classic, like the NES game, and not the modern series. Despite this, though, Ryu has his modern outfit, and then, he runs off to do stuff that he does in the NES game, and you're left to clean the mess. The game is pretty basic and easily accessible for people who have played action platformers. You've got your standard moves like melee, jumping, climbing, dodging, and jumping off projectiles and enemies called guillotine boost. You also get a charged melee called a hypercharge. It sacrifices some of your health and will one-shot any regular enemy. Once in a while an enemy will have like an icon around them, and if you kill them, you'll get a hypercharge. You can also deflect projectiles with your melee. That's at least how it starts off. After a couple levels, they introduce the secondary protagonist, Kumori, from the Black Spider clan. But the Black Spiders are from modern Ninja Gaiden. Wait, Kumori? Kumo? Spider? I mean, it could be Cloud, but nah, I'm not gonna fall for it. Suddenly, you have projectiles, but no melee, and through plot reasons, you get stuck together. If she can possess bits of his body, on a scale on gay, if she jerks him off with his own hands, or like fingers his ass, you know what? Forget that question. Now you get to play with purple hypercharges and make your projectile one-shot. Now you also have to chain between blue and purple hypercharges, one for your melee and guillotine boosts, and the other for your spider weapons and projectile. At this point, you'll have access to your entire moveset, which now has a swappable spider weapon and a super ability called a Ragebound art. Though they both now drain a resource, one a bar and the other orbs, both are refreshed by killing things. The Ragebound and spider weapons are swappable to others by purchasing them from a shop with currency that's found in the stage, that being golden scarabs. Not only just that, but you can also buy accessories. You can only equip 2, and they're not really the biggest game changers, but I think they're a welcome addition. You can unlock some of the accessories, spider weapons, and Ragebound arts through higher ratings from missions. You can also turn on assist mode and negate the horrible debuffs that some of the accessories have for a higher rating, but some would call that cheating. I don't really care, it's single player, it doesn't matter. With how basic the game is overall, it's very straightforward. You go from point A to point B, and you can skip a majority of enemies if you want to. Your rating will suffer if you don't kill and chain kills for combos, but nothing really stops you from doing that outside of a few sections like the writing sections. But just because the game is basic doesn't mean it's bad though, don't think I'm saying that. How the enemies are placed and how the level is set up, it's almost perfect in the way that you can just carve your way through enemies without stopping, and it feels really good. The hypercharged attack has really good sound and hit feedback, and it just wires this satisfying loop in your brain of just chaining kills. You feel really strong until you hit a boss, and some of them might look like they take forever to kill because the basic attack is like really weak against bosses. In actuality, it doesn't take that long, but you'll see your starting damage and you'll be like, wow, that's kind of low. The music adds on to the satisfying gameplay with some of the remix tracks from the series, as well as original tunes. It mostly keeps a fast-paced beat to keep you amped up and wanting to push forward. They'll hit you with that Act 4 Stage 2, and it's a really good remix. It incentivizes you to keep playing even if you die over and over, which is kind of what I did on my first playthrough. As I got better at the game, I went back for some of the collectibles and I saw how much faster I did everything. The game doesn't really penalize you for dying. You'll just respawn at a checkpoint. You don't lose currency. You don't really lose anything outside of time for your rating. That all being said, there's only 17 levels for the main stuff. Couple of secret stages that are pretty short. My first playthrough with all collectibles was around 5 or 6 hours. There are level-specific challenges for those of you who really care about 100%ing a game, banning from get X amount of kills to don't get hit. I'm way too impatient to not get hit. I like standing on top of bosses. As for unlockables, there's not really much. There's a couple of outfits, nothing too crazy. Maybe there's something hidden behind doing all of these challenges, but that's not for me. So I'm not going to confirm or deny a playable Ryu, but from a hard mode clear with all collectibles, outside of challenges, there's no Ryu. There are 2 major endings from normal, you just choose the one you want. There is a secret third ending sequence thing that's locked behind hard mode, so if I were to tell you, just do a fast playthrough on normal, collect everything on hard. Hard mode is pretty interesting because I thought it would just be damage and health padding, but the stage layouts were changed a bit. Some of the boss rooms were tweaked and there were new enemy variants. Some of the bosses even have new attacks. So it was sort of new, but not entirely new. It felt like an actual hard mode. So overall, pretty good. I enjoyed my time with it. I was upset when I found out I collected everything on normal for nothing though, because I'd rather play on hard mode than normal mode.